By now, you're probably familiar with the images that have come out of the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. Shocking images of grimy brown water, which residents were told was safe to drink. We now know, of course, that it wasn't, but even now that we know the water supply is basically poisoned, Flint residents are still being expected to pay for that water pumping out of their pipes. And as the Flint crisis rolls on, have you seen these images coming out of St. Joseph, Louisiana? Take a look and then ask yourself these questions. Would you wash your clothes in that? Would you bathe in that? Would you let your children drink that water? Now, most of us are fortunate enough that such questions are hypothetical, but these photos in St. Joseph should remind us that what's happening in Flint is not an isolated incident, and that while the United Nations has declared water and sanitation a human right, people right here in this country are struggling to obtain it. RT correspondent Simone Del Rosario is here with an update. Simone, what's the latest when it comes to this water crisis that really isn't just affecting Flint, Michigan here?
Well, in Flint, Michigan, so many people are being forced to declare enough is enough at this point. There's this daunting notion from what we know in that situation that this could take up to 15 years to fix, and you can't blame families for not being willing or able to wait that out. Now, this is a city that's already squashed by a crumpled economy, and it could see another mass exodus of its population. Several families have already come out to media to say they are leaving Flint because of the water. Meanwhile, the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality came out today with a 5-part plan to determine if the water is safe to drink, a determination they hope to reach by mid-April when the state of emergency expires. The 5-part plan presented to the EPA consists of testing water in homes, schools, restaurants, testing blood samples, and of course testing the pipes in Flint, the overall distribution system. In the meantime, some residents got a little relief over the weekend. 300 union plumbers from around the country came to Flint, installing donated faucets and water filters with help from the United Association and Plumbing Manufacturers International. Unfortunately for some, even new faucets and fancy new filters will not be enough to make the water somewhat safe. For dozens, the level of lead in their water far exceed what even the strongest filters can fix. If lead in the water exceeds 15 parts per billion, that's the government's action level, where they have to tell you about steps to take and possibly replace your pipes. Filters like the one these union plumbers installed work for contaminated water where lead levels are up to 150 parts per billion. That's 10 times the actionable amount. But for dozens of homes in Flint, the lead in the water is even higher than that, meaning the filters will not work. The EPA says they've tested water that's registered levels from 150 to more than 4,000 parts per billion. For now, residents are encouraged to use the filters because they should work for most homes in Flint. And above all, have the water tested with kits that are being provided by a number of city fire stations as soon as possible. Using those kits, residents can get results in about 3 days. Anya?
That was RT correspondent Simone Del Rosario reporting from the RT newsroom. Thank you so much for that update.